Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome into a brand new episode of the Review at Rob Show. Earlier this week, I released the Moana 2 review. Hopefully, you checked it out and had a good time with that. If not, it is out there for you to check out now. But on that episode, I did promise to do a second episode this week for the film Red One, because I'm calling this week The Rock Appreciation Week, because I did see two of his movies in theaters, his two newest movies in theaters, with Moana 2 and Red One, man. So I was going to split those up into two separate episodes, call it The Rock Appreciation Week, and review both films, spoiler free, of course. So again, that Moana one is out now if you want to check that out. And we're going to talk Red One on this episode, spoiler free, of course, and maybe one or two news things to talk about that's come out since that Moana 2 review, man. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. There is your poster for Red One. Red One stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons, and Lucy Liu, to name a few. The film is rated PG-13 for language, action, and some violence. Runs in at just a little bit over 2 hours, at 2 hours and 2 minutes. It is a holiday action adventure comedy film that you can check out now in theaters, and I believe it should be hitting streaming soon. At least all rumors report that the film should be out the week before Christmas on streaming services for you to check out. So, what the story is with Red One, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is playing the head of security for Santa Claus, aka the Red One. Happenstance happens during the movie. Craziness goes down. Santa Claus ends up getting kidnapped. This is not spoilers. This is all in the trailer. Kidnapped, and I'm telling you how he gets kidnapped. But he gets kidnapped, which leaves Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character, as well as the whole team of security, to put together a plan to go save Santa Claus and effectively save Christmas, and which leads to them working with Chris Evans, who's a very well-known thief, hacker kind of guy that he is. Tracker, whatever you want to call him. That's Chris Evans. So they have to team up, and we go on this big adventure throughout the film into finding and hopefully finding and saving Christmas, man. So that's the idea of this movie. Not your kind of traditional Christmas film. We've seen action Christmas movies. We all hear the battle every single year. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not? Is Batman Returns a Christmas movie or not? Both of those are, by the way. So we've had action-y Christmas movies before. More traditional or not. But Christmas movies are typically, spirit of Christmas, traveling around, buying gifts, what is the true meaning of Christmas, all that kind of stuff. Feel goody, spiritual, positive messaging kind of movies. So this movie, not the typical Christmas film with all the action and adventure and the kidnapping and all these things, but it is a blending of what your typical kind of Christmas movie bodies into an action movie, in the sense of there is that whimsical matter to it. There is that spiritual matter to it. There is the Christmassy spirit in the film and all that stuff. And it feels good watching Christmas. And that's why I wanted to make this the second movie I saw in that double feature, because now we're in December as of this, and you're starting wanting to watch Christmas movies, and the closer to Christmas time it got, I wanted to see that movie. That was always my plan with Red One, is a way to get to as close to Christmas as possible. Then I started hearing the rumors that maybe going to streaming soon. I'm like, let me get to theaters, because as I mentioned on that Moana thing, I support The Rock. I want to go to theaters and see anything The Rock puts out. So went to theaters, man, and the movie is, it's 2 hours, and it's 2 hours of just entertainment from start to finish for me. It blends very well together. The story is fun. It's well put together acting wise. I mean, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Evans being a unlikely and unwanting duo in this movie, because obviously, the idea of, naughty list, nice list, all that stuff. And of course, the guy who is working with Santa Claus, head of security, ultra nice, believes in all the Santa Claus stuff and all that stuff. Chris Evans' character, tracker character, naughty character, obviously he's doing these naughty things, not the best of things and all that stuff. So now the nice and naughty have to work together to try to find something, and find Santa Claus, the ultimate nice, and all that stuff. So it leads to a lot of comedy, a lot of intriguing elements of the action scenes and all the stuff that things go on. Not a spoiler at all, because it's in the trailer as well, but Krampus is in this movie. So it's the easiest thing to say about Red One is it's just a fun movie. Like, it's a fun time. If you're looking for a movie to put on during Christmas time, that's just outside of the ordinary, but still has enough of the ordinary to fit very well into your Christmassy watch along or marathon that you may be doing. It works very well. It's extremely entertaining. Like I had a blast with this movie. It's not hard to follow along with. You get the idea of what they're going for throughout this movie and what the story they're telling is, which is again beat it over the head, but very much a typical Christmas story, right? And very, even though it's got the action and very adventurous and all that stuff, it's still got the heart of what the idea of Christmas is within the movie. So it's perfect for your Christmas time film, man. Like I had an absolute blast watching this movie, and I mentioned it on the Moana review. My theater was packed for this movie. Make what you will. If you care about box office, that's your thing. I don't care about box office. It never sways me to see a movie or not. It definitely doesn't tell me if a movie's good or not. That's something I've never bought into and will never buy into. The box office of a movie doesn't mean the movie's quality is good or not. So for me overall, like that theater was packed. I was stuck next to people. Normally, when I go to the movie theater, I don't really never have anybody around me, but this is, holiday season time, so people are going to see holiday movies. It's packed in there. I had a kid sit next to me that I'm not related to, but freaking kid was sitting next to me, moving around the whole time, making noise. I kept getting elbowed. I got freaking kneed a couple times. Kids move around and all that stuff. But she was nice. She did apologize and all that stuff. Can't complain. But I did hear her say one time, "Is how long is this movie? Is it over yet?" and stuff like that. So it is what it is, man. But packed situation in there, but didn't bother me at all because I was thoroughly entertained with the movie. Like I loved what they were doing. I was having a blast with that movie. That's what this movie is. It's a fun time movie. It's what you should want with an action movie, obviously, but it's something you should want with a Christmas movie as well. And just seeing like Christmassy characters in a battle during Christmas and all that stuff is freaking cool. It's cool. It's a good time, man. So overall thoughts on Red One is very fun, very enjoyable, good time, good story, fits the Christmas vibe very well. Even though it's an action movie, so I say it's worth your time. While we're talking this movie, I did talk about all of those cast members and saying and more talented people. There is an actress in this film. May mess her name up. I'm pretty sure it's Kiernan Shipka. She's in the film. You probably mostly know her for the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. She played Sabrina in the Netflix show that I think lasted 3 or 4 seasons. I really need to get that show a chance, but she's in this movie. And she's great, and she's great in the movie as well. And everything I've seen her in, she's good. She was in that Totally Killer movie last year that I had a good time with, and this year she's had a pretty solid freaking year as well. She plays a character in Long Legs, that Nicolas Cage horror film that came out earlier this year, psycho thriller movie. She's in Twisters, and she has a movie on Netflix right now called I think it's called Sweethearts or something like that. And she's in Red One, and she's also in a movie called I think it's The Last Showgirl is the name of it, starring Pamela Anderson. I think it has a good cast in that movie as well. So she's had a year for her as well, and she's talented. She's a really good actress, and I like what she's doing in this movie as well. It's different from what I've seen her do before. Especially, she played an interesting character in Long Legs, but overall, she's fantastic in the movie as well. So I don't have any kind of complaint with this movie. It's magical, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's a good enough story. Like it fits the Christmas vibe very well. It's a movie that I'm going to watch every single Christmas going forward for sure. So overall thoughts quickly on Red One is that it is worth your time. It's so good. It's so fun. Definitely go see it in theaters while you have the chance. Let me pull up the Regal app, see if we got, because it should be hitting streaming sometime soon. Like I can't imagine we're too far away from it hitting streaming. It's been out for a good bit. And the history with movies lately is they in theaters for that's freaking a couple of weeks now, and then eventually end up going to streaming not too long. Trying to pull up the Regal app, it's taking forever. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's still in theaters right now. It's still showtimes. Let's try to go out in the future a little bit here. Yeah, it's got showtimes the rest of this week. Let's go to next week. Still has some showtimes. Get to the 15th or 16th, 17th. It doesn't have any showtime showing at the moment. That could be updated later, but that's kind of the rumor around that time is when it'll hit streaming. So there you go. Sometime around there, like the week before Christmas, which makes sense. But, to get it out there for people to watch, you're going to be in that Christmas vibe. So if they're smart, they're like, hey, we've made what we can in the box office. Let's put it on streaming and let's get that 20 to 29.99 from people to help build the movie's profit even more. So there you go. I like that idea. I like that movie a lot, man. I had a good time with that movie. So, Red One is worth your time to go check out and have a good time. And again, I'm a big Rock fan, so it was awesome for me to see those two movies in theaters and help support him even longer and just have a good time. Heard a rumor that he and Cody Rhodes shot a little something during the Moana 2 premiere, so maybe the final boss is getting ready to come back to the WWE. We're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania season next month. Or is it like February 1st? Maybe I can't remember the exact date at the moment for the Royal Rumble, but we're getting close to the Royal Rumble, which is the road to WrestleMania, man. And then we're on the road to WrestleMania. That means final boss is lurking. So I can't wait to see what's going on there and all that stuff, man. But big time appreciation of The Rock. Easily, always been a fan of him in the WWE. And then when he went to acting, I've continued to follow him and support. So awesome with him. Excited again. That Kierna Shipka girl, probably missed her name up. Sorry. Like her as well. She's good. Talented cast. Chris Evans is always fun. Lucy Liu's awesome as always. J.K. Simmons really cool too, man. Being the buff Santa Claus, that's cool. So fun movie, man. Check out Red One for sure. And there's no credit scenes afterwards. So once it gives the credits, you can go ahead and get out of there if you want to, unless you want to watch there and see all the people who made the movie. More power to you as well. So those are my thoughts on Red One. Go watch it. Go have a fun time. Go have a blast. Go see it on the big screen and then watch it again when it's in streaming. That's what I'm going to do, man. That's for sure. All right. So going from there, again, not a lot of news to really talk about. Maybe only two things to really talk about here. Maybe three. Since we're talking Christmas and movies, I think it's only appropriate that today they did announce that Terrifier 3, which is a Christmas movie, it does have Christmas, takes place during Christmas, has a lot of Christmas stuff in it, even though it's a very, very gory horror film. That is going back to theaters. So if you did not catch Terrifier 3 in theaters when it hit its original run, they are putting it back in theaters on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, a limited run. So if you want to see that movie with your family, have fun, have at it. Go ahead and go watch it in theaters and have a gory good time with that movie for sure. So you go check that out. DC wise, again, this is Creature Commandos week. The show will be debuting its first two episodes on Max on the 5th, which is probably the same day you're watching this. So it will be out there. Official start of the DCU, man. That is the world beginning right there, man. So let's see if I can pull up a synopsis for you for Creature Commandos. I know I talked about it a long time ago, but let's try to pull up a synopsis for you if the thing will work with me here. So Creature Commandos animated show coming to Max starting on December 5th. First two episodes available. 7 episodes, I believe, we're getting. Shows a Black Ops team is formulated out of prisoners laying the foundation for the Suicide Squad. Is the synopsis they put out there for that. So it's like a Suicide Squad kind of vibe to it for sure with these Creature Commandos. So we're talking like the Bride, and we got like a Frankenstein type of character and stuff like that, man. So it looks cool. It looks awesome. Go check out the trailer that's out there. But yeah, this is the official start of the DCU. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to. It's getting a lot of very positive reviews and all that stuff so far. So I'm gonna be watching and enjoying that bad boy for sure, or girl, whatever you want to call it. So we got that happening this week, and then last bit of news. Do I have anything else other before this? No. All right. So last bit of news. We're back on the Pirates of the Caribbean rumor train of what's going on there. For the longest time, there's been this rumor that there's a movie coming with Margot Robbie. I believe she just had a baby, so congratulations to her and her husband. I think that movie's still in the works somewhere. I don't know what's happening with that, but there's the rumors now that there's 2 movies for the Pirates of the Caribbean. Not even now; it's been that for a while. I've talked this multiple times on this show, so I know that there's 2 of them out there. And of course, talked about Johnny Depp on the Moana 2 review episode with news of him teasing Tim Burton teasing another film or project with him and Johnny Depp happening at some point. Now we're back to the Pirates of the Caribbean, and there was a Disney executive that was talking about this and all that stuff. Talk about the script has a possibility. One of the scripts, because again, there's 2 Pirates movies out there. One of the scripts has the possibility of bringing Johnny Depp's character, of course, Captain Jack Sparrow, back into the fold of the Pirates of the Caribbean if Johnny Depp and Disney can reconcile. So, if you remember, the legal issues that happened with Johnny Depp, and Disney got rid of him, as well as Warner Brothers got rid of him. And, since that time, now the legal issues are done. Johnny Depp won the case. He's getting back, started to build his acting career back. Recently announced that he and Penelope Cruz are re-teaming together for a movie with Lionsgate, so like a bigger name studio is working with him again. Again, that tease of Tim Burton doing something with him again. I think it's only a matter of time, whether it's a cameo or not. Hopefully it's more, but I think it's only a matter of time that you bring Johnny Depp back into the fold. A lot of people still love him. We see that he's won his legal case and all that stuff, so there's not really a worry there with Johnny Depp as if there was one before. So it's worth the time to take there. Again, Pirates of the Caribbean film is extremely associated with Johnny Depp. Like those movies are his movies, right? I know the ride is based off, or the movie is based off a ride in the theme parks. It has its own name. It's had its own name for a while, but the movie started with Johnny Depp being cast as that main character, and they've added that character to the rides and all that stuff, and it's just his likeness and all that. So you gotta figure at some point they're gonna be smart enough to be like, let's get Johnny Depp back in this thing, and all that stuff. So obviously, I want that to happen. I love those Pirates of the Caribbean films. Love Johnny Depp, great actor. So obviously, hopefully, that's going to be all reconciled and figured out and brought back to the right world of Disney live action movies and all that stuff. Speaking of live action movies, I haven't done a reaction to it. Don't know if I will, but the Snow White trailer came out. I'm extremely excited for that movie. That movie is easily probably top 5 most hyped movies for me next year, man. I'm sure I'll do an episode. We'll do some kind of episode about that. But I've been for that movie. I don't get the internet's obsession with hating Rachel Zegler. I think she's a very talented actress, very talented singer. She's on Broadway now, killing it. Clips all over the place of her killing it there. She was amazing in freaking The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I followed her for a while on YouTube. She covers songs. She's a fantastic freaking singer, man. So I have no doubt that she's going to kill it in the Snow White role, and all that. So yeah, I don't know what the hate is for her, but that's the internet for you, man. What can you do? But I love her, and I can't wait to see that movie. Can't wait to see Y2K that's coming out soon, as well as Werewolves. I'm gonna try to see both of those movies this week as well. And then all kinds of fun stuff just shaping up and happening. But that's going to be it for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you saw a red one, let me know what you're thinking. If you're going to see it now because of my review, awesome, man. I love it when that happens. I've had people come up to me before after talking to them in real life, IRL, if you will, and tell them about movies they'd watch, and they come back to me and it's like, man, I love that freaking movie. That's awesome. Coming for you for ideas. Cool. Love that. That's awesome, man. But yeah, Red One is worth your time. Go see it in theaters while it's still there. Definitely check it out when it comes to streaming. Check it out as well, because again, it's going to be a yearly watch for me for sure. Go see Terrifier 3 if you want to in theaters. Creature Commandos, make sure you watch that. And with the beginning of the DCU is upon us, and Johnny Depp may be possibly returning to the Pirates of the Caribbean, man. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, remember that you are important, that you matter, that you are incredibly awesome, capable of achieving your dreams, believing yourself, trusting yourself, and you will be there, man. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, week, month, year. And as always, remember that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode.